Okay, so we got another little thing to show you guys, another little goodie from the Queen Mary. And this is going to be the official souvenir guide. You can see that beautiful ship in the middle. The R.M.S. Queen Mary. Just some of my Queen Mary stuff, because I don't have a lot. We've got the Queen Mary model kit. We've got 50 Years of Splendor by David Hutchings. We've got the model kit instruction sheet, and we've got the take to pieces model, the Queen Mary. This is from the 30s. So, and I showed you guys that in a previous video. I've shown you 50 Years of Splendor. So today we're going to actually look at the souvenir guide. So I was really happy to get this in, and this would have been sold aboard ship. And you can see their price was $9.99, and the ISBN number. So looking at the souvenir guide, when you open it up, you can see a picture of the beautiful ship. And you can see some of the sections. You got an index. Your visit, the quest for speed, the Queens of War, Mary in the movies, life on the ocean waves, art on the Queen Mary, and a new life in California. And this is my receipt. You can see in your visit, I'm not going to read page for page, but I am going to read the welcome to you guys. Welcome to the R.M.S. Queen Mary. It is our sincere hope that you enjoy your visit aboard this superb example of the golden age of ocean travel. In this meticulously produced guidebook, the author and publisher have created a wonderful fusion of the Queen Mary as she is today, as well as how she was in her glory day, in war and peace, and in fair weather and foul. The many vintage photographs tell a rich history of her days upon the North Atlantic Ocean. The guide is also informative and easy to read, as deck plans to assist in navigating her, and the many acres of open decks and beautiful interiors. This book will allow the Queen Mary's compelling allure and her almost tangible magic to live with you a long, long, long time after your visit. And you can see the picture, the bedroom suite, the original fittings. This is the Prices collection of the Diana collection. We've got Sir Winston's restaurant. And again, I'm not going to read it page for page, but I want to share the amazing photographs with you and tidbits. Look at that picture. The Queen Mary and the Queen Elizabeth passing each other in the mid-Atlantic during the Mary's final summer service in 1967. This is her arriving in Long Beach in December of '67. And the Queen Mary moored inside the lagoon, the Russian Scorpion submarine, now part of the general tour. You can see that in the foreground. You can see the bridge of the Queen Mary. And you can see the boat deck. This book has some amazing photographs. And of course, you know, it'll pale in comparison, because if you're lucky enough to get this book in person, you're lucky enough to be aboard the ship. This is the first class lounge, now the Queen's Saloon. The forward end of the Queen's Saloon. Popular champagne Sunday brunch is hosted in the Grand Saloon. It's an absolutely spectacular room. And this is the Queen Mary alongside Pier J with all the facilities it requires for its modern day role as an attraction, hotel, bar, and restaurant venue. Look at that. Again, some of these pictures are just fantastic. I wish they would do the same thing for the SS United States. I really do. You can see the forecastle deck. This is the main hall on the promenade deck. You can see the enclosed promenade deck. Another view of the ship. Look at the lounge. So back in her heyday, the quest for speed. I'm just going to read a little bit in this to show you guys. For a 1,000-foot liner was being considered by the Cunard Steamship Company as early as 1926. Up until this time, 3 ships were required to maintain a weekly service across the Atlantic. Cunard ships Mauritania, Aquitania, and Berengaria, had been in service for many years, and so thoughts were being given to build 2 larger vessels capable of achieving higher speeds and carrying more passengers on the lucrative route. Speed was calculated to average 33 miles per hour or 28.5 knots. The 2 new proposed liners by the late 1920s tested and carried out using 16-foot long models in test tanks, simulating all sea and weather conditions the Atlantic could pose. The Queen Mary would cost in the region of $10 million to complete in 1930s prices. It shows you some of the photographs, and I love that. Look at that, her fitting out. Tugs maneuver the newly named Cunard liner after the launching ceremony. At this time, the hull weighed just 35,500 tons. But after fitting out, she would increase to an amazing 81,000 tons. You can see the 3 huge sirens were fitted to the funnels on the middle funnel and 2 on the forward one. They were 6 feet 7 inches long. A beautiful picture of her. This is when she was launched in 1936. It's a 1,004-foot long ocean liner. You can see her swimming pool and the first class accommodation. This is the veranda grill. Absolutely gorgeous. You can see the chefs used to produce up to 40,000 meals per voyage. And taking a look at the dinner menu. Let me see if we can read this now. We'll take a look and see what's on the menu. Pineapple juice. This is for dinner, by the way. Chilled grapefruit. Hors d'oeuvres. I can't really read that because it's so small. Moving down, we've got grilled fillet of whitefish, halibut, spaghetti au gratin. Let's see, braised, smoked, or, yeah, it's too small, I can't read it. Grill, let's see, calf's liver, oh man. French fries, is that French fries, I think? Squash, money. I'm not quite sure what this is. They have cold dishes. Let's see, down at the bottom, ice cream, pineapple, oranges, apples, coffee, and pears. And the bottom is way too small. I'll put the picture up and hopefully you guys can read it. You can see what they have for the second class dining room. It was also pretty beautiful. And at the forward end of the ship, you can see the observation bar. And look at that room. Absolutely beautiful. So we have a second class cabin. A picture of that. Which is still really nice. And even the third class is nice. Look at that third class cabin aboard the Queen Mary. And we got the third class restaurant. And the third class lounge. Even look how beautiful that is. Here's a nice picture. An estimated crowd of 250,000 people lined the docks and banks of Southampton as the Queen Mary left on her maiden voyage, which was May 27th of 1936. That's a tremendous amount of people for that. And look at this. Speaking of a lot of people, this is during World War II when she was a troop transport ship. This is September of 1939. And look at all those people on the forecastle deck. "16,683 troops were carried on a single journey during World War II, a record number which remains to this day." You can see another beautiful picture of her in her war outfit or her war fatigues. Look at this picture. This displays the Queen Mary's War Service C and D decks. Anti-aircraft guns similar to those used in World War II are on display in the forward end. But look at all those people. All those soldiers. Now it goes into Mary in the movies. You can see we got Bob Hope. Let's see, who is this? Bob Hope is in the center. Robert Montgomery, Loretta Young, and Alex Smith. The Duke and Duchess of Windsor. Prime Minister Winston Churchill. Let's see, doesn't really say who those people are. A couple more pictures. Life on the ocean waves. You can see another. Is that a picture? Yeah, an actual picture of the lounge. Absolutely beautiful. And let's see. This is where she's entering New York. You see another lounge. I think that's the second class lounge. And looks like we got the gym. Looks like stationary bikes. And whatever that lady's on, I'm not quite sure what that is. Let's see, does it say? The horse riding machine gave passengers ample facilities for exercise. I've never seen one of those. I think they had them on Titanic as well, I'm not sure. And I think this was the first class swimming pool. So it shows you the different artwork, the mantle clock in the first class lounge, and shows you the paintings, wood carving. That's beautiful. This is McDonald Gill's decorative map of the North Atlantic. That's pretty beautiful. Over 30 artists were commissioned to produce the hundreds of items of artwork and furnishings for the Queen Mary. A little bit more of the artwork. I like the fish. An illuminated glass panel by Charles Cameron. And that was for the second class swimming pool. You can see more of the artwork. A new life. So now she's no longer in service. She's retired. And she's permanently moored in Long Beach, California. This is the Queen Mary ends her career on December 9th of 1967. Incidentally, in the movies, they didn't say any reference to the SS Poseidon, that she was in the Poseidon adventure. So here is a little bit of fun. We can actually take a look at the interior of the ship. the key to the plans of the Queen Mary. The lettering is pretty small, so I'll put it up in a photo for you guys to check out. If you want, you can pause it, but let's go through the ship. You can see this section has the bow going back to the bridge, the wheelhouse, then it goes to the midsection, or the mid part of the ship. You can see the boilers on the bottom, and we go to the aft end of the ship, and you can see the poop deck and the propellers. So this one actually takes a look at the decks. So we have the deck plans. You can see this is A deck, access to the bow, the old firehouse. We got the elevators. Look at all the staterooms, the captain club, and then we have the isolation ward in the back. B deck, we got the Carpathia room in the front, the Carolina room. You can see where the elevators are. There's more staterooms going down back to the staircase to the promenade deck. You can see, what is that? R deck, the Grand Saloon, the Windsor Saloon, and the Queen Mary Art Gallery, the Ghost and Legend show that's in the front, the catering office. You can see what goes down to D deck. And speaking of D deck, you can see the Queen Mary exhibit hall and the story of the Queen Mary, the stairs to the engine room. And this has the sports deck. You can see the sun deck, the promenade deck, the observation bar, of course, with those iconic arched windows, the captain's arcade. Of course, this is how she is now. Promenade Cafe, the Chelsea Chowder House and Bar. You can see the Queen's Saloon. And then go into the main deck. You can see the staterooms, the Mauritania room right in the center at front, the Travel Bureau, the Fitness Center, going back towards the Britannia Salon. So that's really fun. And that concludes the book. I know there's a lot more in this book, but I wanted to show you the highlights and the pictures and everything. And again, it shows the history of this wonderful ship. Again, I wish they would have shown the SS United States as much love as they've given the Queen Mary, because it's a shame the SS United States is going to be sunk and turned into a reef, while the Queen Mary is still around. Actually, not only is she still around, she just got an upgrade, and she just got a bunch of repairs. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video on the R.M.S. Queen Mary. This is the official souvenir guide that comes directly from the ship in the souvenir shop. And until the next video on this wonderful ship, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.